My name's Detective Vincent Argo. It's been a hard few weeks. My boss has been breathing down my neck to solve this case. This sect of Jews, the followers of the Way, they've been gaining steam, making waves in the Empire. The Empire doesn't like waves. I'm already the third detective that they've had on this case. The others couldn't prove a thing. It's been years since the original event. Year zero, as I've been calling it. A Jewish rabbi goes off spouting all sorts of things in the streets and synagogues. The religious right lose their minds and petition Governor Pilate to have him executed. Should have been the end of all of this. Turns out that his followers believed that 3 days after he died, he rose from the dead. There's no body to be found, and I have a theory on that. Suddenly their numbers start growing and everybody thinks that this nut job was some kind of messiah. They think he's been raised from the dead and is coming back someday. I really don't care what some religious wackos believe, but 10 years later, the Empire does. Their numbers have been growing unmanageable. They're mostly peaceful, but they don't fall in line like they did before. The worst thing is it ain't just Jews either. It's Roman citizens. They're turning, along with every other type of person out there. It's making the Empire nervous. That's why they hired me to get to the bottom of this. I've got 3 groups of eyewitnesses here today. I've got to come to a conclusion after this. It's gonna be a long one. I can feel it.
Good day, ladies. I'm sure you know why you are here.
We're here held against our will without reason or due cause to hold us.
Sit down and shut up, lady. All right? You're lucky that you all ain't in cells after all the disturbance of the peace and dissension evidence that we have against you. Listen, I want to have a good day. You want to have a good day. So why can't we just have a good day? You answer my questions and then you can go on your merry way, okay? So let's have a good day. All right? So we got roll call here, roll call time. I've got Mary, the widow of Joseph the carpenter, mother of the deceased here. I've got Martha and Mary, good friends of the deceased.
He's not deceased, he's alive.
Oh, really? Tell me, we got pictures here of the execution. You tell me who can survive that. Okay? Listen, the Empire is incredibly efficient when it comes to executions. Our kill rate is 100%. Ain't nobody walking away from that. All right? And here's the deal. We don't mind you believing whatever you want to believe. The Empire, we're all about diversity. In fact, we revel in it. But it's when you don't honor the Emperor that we get a little unsettled.
You want us to worship Emperor Tiberius as a god, and we will never do that.
But you'll worship a dead carpenter? See, this is what bothers us, okay? This is what bothers us. Why do you elevate this guy so much? I read some of his stuff, and you know, once I get past the weird Jewish stuff, it's all lovey-dovey. I'm okay with it. It doesn't even bother me that the guy says that he's the son of God. Guy can believe he's the son of a dragon for all I care. It doesn't really matter. But it's when you cause this much dissension and confusion that we have to step in. Okay? So, Mary, You were his mother. Tell me a little bit about it.
Ooh, Jesus is extraordinary.
Yeah, every mother thinks her kid's special.
Yeah. I get what you're saying. However, being his mother, I just don't think he's special. I know he's special. And you being an investigator, I would think what I have to say would be of the utmost importance, because what I know is not hearsay. I mean, this was my life. From the time of Jesus' miraculous conception, through his life, his death, his life, I had a front row seat to it all. And I know Jesus is special. There is no one like Jesus.
Yeah, your testimony here said angels foretold his birth.
Yes.
Real theatrical, ma'am.
It's true.
Do you have a history of mental illness? How about drug use?
I assure you this woman is of sound mind, Detective.
Thank you.
Listen, I've seen it all. I'm just trying to get to the bottom of this. Why don't you tell me a little bit about Lazarus?
Lazarus, my brother, was close friends with Jesus. Anytime Jesus was in the area, he would come stay with us. Lazarus was always intrigued by Jesus. He would go out and watch Jesus teach and heal people. He was always amazed at his perspective on things. He said, "There's something different about Jesus. He speaks with an authority like I've never heard."
Then Lazarus, well, he got real sick, right?
Yes, very sick. He was perfectly healthy one day, sicker than a dog the next. I had never seen anybody so sick. I still remember trying to comfort him while he was writhing in pain. I was just holding his hand and he kept on asking for Jesus every few minutes. And I just kept on trying to comfort him, just saying everything would be okay. But I too felt a little uneasy because I was wondering, where was Jesus? We witnessed him heal perfect strangers, but he couldn't be there for his own friend.
But then Jesus showed up.
Yes, Jesus showed up days after Lazarus died.
So Jesus was too late.
Jesus was never late. He arrived precisely when he meant to.
Yeah, kind of like a wizard, huh?
Jesus did show up eventually.
So you had lost hope?
We had all lost hope, yes.
So tell me, what happened next? What happened next?
Well, I can remember Lazarus. We had buried him in a suit that my father's suit we buried him in. What's the question again, Detective?
All right, my question is, what happened next? You said that you had all lost hope. This is what I have here. And then Jesus was crying and everybody was crying and then all this different stuff was happening. So tell me, what happened next?
Then Jesus asked us where we had buried him. So I took him to the graveyard. Our friends and our family were still there after the funeral, so they came down as well, if you would like to interview them too, Detective.
Maybe I would. Keep on going, lady.
Then Jesus stood at the entrance of the graveyard and he called out in a loud voice, "Lazarus, come forth."
Lady, you expect me to believe that this guy who was dead, come on, this is ridiculous.
It's true. We saw it with our very own eyes, Detective. I remember Lazarus being in my father's suit that we buried him in. Jesus came forth, hugging Lazarus. We saw it with our very own eyes, Detective.
You know, today, your brother is dead.
Yeah, he was murdered by the Empire last year.
You know, it didn't have to be that way. It didn't have to be that way. When he was standing before the judge, he couldn't stop talking about Jesus, which was why he was standing in front of the judge in the first place. So I was there that day. I saw the whole thing, and the judge says, Lazarus, you got to stop talking. Lazarus says, ain't nobody going to shut me up. And he just keeps going and going and going. Well, the judge, he got real mad. And so he said, if you keep going, I'm going to hold you in contempt of court. Lazarus keeps talking, and he says, Lazarus, if you don't stop, we're going to have you executed.
And all Lazarus could do was laugh.
Yeah, like a madman. All the guy did was laugh and laugh and laugh. Crazy.
How do you threaten a man that has already died? How do you threaten a man that looked death in the face and walked away?
Listen, if I would have died and been raised from the dead, I wouldn't want to die again.
But what if you knew the man who had conquered death? What if you knew the man who could bring you from the grave, who could give you eternal life?
You sisters have been through some deep-seated trauma. I can suggest a really nice counselor.
And I suggest that you look at the facts. Where's Jesus' body?
That's easy, that's easy. The next guys I'm going to interview, they stole the body.
Stolen?
Yeah, Mummy, I said stolen.
Yeah.
What's so funny? This whole thing hinges on them stealing the body, and when I can find that body, or what's left of it by now, I'm going to be able to prove that this whole thing was a scam, and your precious son's memory will dissipate.
No. Stolen. Okay, let me get this straight. You think that the disciples of Jesus somehow broke into a sealed tomb guarded by the most finest, well-trained military the empire could employ, right? You think they just broke into that? Oh, come on. I know these people. I mean, they're good people, but not individually nor collectively could they have pulled something off like that. No way. And let me ask you a question, Detective Argo.
Go ahead.
Do you really believe that these men, there's been men that died by the hands of the empire, correct? For the cause of Christ.
Yes.
Do you really think they would have sacrificed their lives for something they knew was not true? Some elaborate ruse? No way. No.
Listen, all I know is that somebody's lying here. Maybe you, maybe you, maybe you, maybe this Jesus guy himself. Somebody's lying, and I gotta get to the bottom of this.
You want the truth?
I do.
My son is the truth. Capital T.
Clearly, I'm not gonna be getting anywhere today. Ladies, stop wasting my time. You're dismissed.
Detective, I suggest that you look deeper into this. There is more to Jesus than you know. This is a matter of faith. Being sure of what we hope for and certain of what we do not see.
There is a place where facts and faith intersect. You will not find the body of my son, but I pray that you'll find my son.
Yeah, maybe I'll find his daddy, too. Get out of here. Corporal Riley, escort them out. Oh, my goodness. Please bring in the next group. Oh, it's going to be a long day. Gentlemen, I sincerely hope that our time together is more beneficial than my last session. I can't stand dealing with crazy women.
Hey, watch it. One of them's my mama.
All right, a roll call time. Let's see, who do I have here? I got 3 followers of Jesus. I've got John, Jesus' favorite, wearing a t-shirt saying Jesus loves me.
This wasn't a formal event, was it?
I got James, the actual brother of Jesus. And I've got Thomas, the doubter of Jesus.
Oh, come on, one time, one moment of weakness, and I'm forever dubbed Doubting Thomas. You know what? I was willing to die for Jesus, and I probably will someday. But right now, all I was looking for was a little bit of evidence.
Evidence! Evidence! Yes! That's what I'm looking for. Evidence. Give me the body, and all of this goes away.
I actually agree with you, Detective. If we find the body, if you found the body of Jesus, this all goes away. But you won't find that body.
Why? Because you hid it so well?
Because he's alive, Detective.
Oh,
I mean, I saw that empty tomb. I mean, I was actually one of the first ones there. I beat Peter on the way there, which actually doesn't say that much because Peter, guy eats a lot of fish. I mean, I'm talking so much fish this guy can barely run. I mean, actually, you know what? The fish is pretty healthy. I think it's the bread. I mean, all that gluten weighing him down. I'm not talking about certified organic or non-GMO. I think there's extra gluten in the bread this guy's eating. So he's trying to run his carbo overload. He can't run.
Whoa there, Johnny boy.
So much fish sandwiches.
Let's take it easy on Peter, okay? I mean, he's your leader, correct? Now, we don't have him here today, but we do have video evidence from an interview that we had that I'd like to show you guys and maybe get your perspective on. So, if we could roll that video evidence right now.
Sir, we have a couple questions for you about Jesus. Would you be willing to answer them?
Yes.
We've been informed that you deny knowing Jesus multiple times the night of his trial and execution. Is that correct?
It is.
If you would deny knowing him then, why are you so adamant about knowing him now?
Because I was scared, kid. I messed up worse than I ever had. That night, I was willing to die for Jesus. I cut a man's ear off in a fight. Seeing Jesus taken away in handcuffs like a common criminal, I was broken. I could barely function. I just followed trying to find out what was going to happen to Jesus. What were they going to do? And then people start coming up to me and they start identifying me and saying, we know you were a person that hung out with him. And I made a decision, I made a choice. I said, I didn't know the guy. 3 times I denied him. You know, the crazy thing is, I was so mad at Judas for betraying Jesus, for selling him out. And then a few hours later, there I was. No better than him, swearing that I never knew the guy.
Testimony says that you saw the resurrected Jesus and that he forgave you. Would you elaborate on that?
Listen, I know that none of you guys believe us. That you don't believe that he's risen from the dead. But I'm telling you, I saw him face to face. He looked me in the eyes. And he forgave me 3 times. 3 times I denied him. 3 times he forgave me. It was at breakfast. He was eating with us. No ghost does that. He was back from the dead. I saw it. And he said, Peter, will you feed my sheep? He was telling me I was the leader of this group, this ragtag band, for good or ill. But yeah, I'm the leader.
So what's your intent with this group then? Our records indicate that in one day you added over 3,000 people to your ranks. Do you desire to overthrow the empire?
Overthrow the empire? Seriously? Listen, you guys can keep your little empire. Our vision is significantly more global. We are going to take the name of Jesus to every tribe, every tongue, every nation. We're talking global here, not regional. This is going to get a whole lot bigger than anything you've ever seen.
He actually might have been able to beat you in a race.
Maybe if he lays off the carbs.
I bet you he's pretty good at short distance sprinting. Anyhow, so world domination, that's what you guys are talking about?
We're not talking about domination. That's how your precious little empire likes to talk about things. We are talking about salvation. See, God so loved the world that he gave his only son, that whoever believes in him should not perish, but have eternal life. Ooh, eternal life. I like that. I'm going to write that down. That's going to be good.
That's going to be big. You know what? That's going to be real big, but I doubt he gets it.
I don't get it. Anyhow, you're all insane. All of you guys are lunatics. Can I get a normal witness?
Jesus associated with many different people, most of whom society deemed unworthy. He perhaps endeared to people because of the way he cared about them. He cared when the religious right did. He cared when the empire did. He was a man of the people.
Now you, sir, are an enigma to me. James, the brother of Jesus. You grew up with the guy, yet you think that this man, keyword man, was actually the Jewish God? I had plenty of siblings, and I knew that they weren't God.
Let me ask you a question, sir.
Go ahead.
If you had grown up with siblings that never, and I mean never, disobeyed their parents, never bullied his siblings, never lied, never cheated, never stole anything, wouldn't you think there was something a little bit different about them?
Yeah, good parenting goes a long way.
Yeah, right. When Jesus was a grown man, I watched him many times from afar in public. His actions always lined up with his words. He never said anything that he didn't match. We worried about him for a long time because he made some hard statements.
Yeah, hard statements like, you must eat my flesh and drink my blood. So your brother wanted his followers to be some kind of weird vampire people thing? That's ridiculous.
No, you missed it. We all missed it. Right? It's only now that we have clarity. Jesus had just finished feeding 5,000 people, real fish and real bread. A true miracle. The people thought that he told them that he was the bread of life and that he was their manna from heaven. They thought the bread was the miracle, but actually what Jesus was telling them was he was their sustainer, that he was and is God.
What man claims to be the one true God? A lunatic.
Or perhaps he was telling the truth. You know, there's a lot of people that are mentally ill that say and believe a lot of crazy things. And I see how, if you take away the miracles, Jesus may sound crazy. But here's a man that backed up everything he did. He healed everybody. He made the blind to see. He caused the lame from birth to walk again. He even raised dead people. Jesus had such power in his words. You got to believe, even when you don't understand what's going on, that there's real power behind what he said.
Let's be clear about one thing, Detective. Jesus was not a liar, nor was he a lunatic.
What's left? What's left?
The truth.
The truth.
You know what? No further questions. You're free to go. Get out of here. Been a monumental waste of my time. Corporal Riley, bring in the last group. I'm ready to get this done. Oh, man. All right, it's been a long day. And I'm going to say, judging by your countenance, I am not impressed. You look like you just rolled out of bed. You look like you just got back from a frat party. You actually look pretty dapper, sir.
You, detective, you look pretty stressed.
I am.
Have you had your blood pressure checked lately?
No.
Here's my card. Call my office tomorrow and we'll set up an appointment for you, okay?
All right, okay.
All right, thank you.
Dr. Luke. Yes, I've heard of you. Okay.
Thank you.
All right, I appreciate that, sir. I'm just going to stick that right over here. Okay, roll call time. We have Dr. Luke, we have Barnabas, and we have Saul.
My name is Paul.
Okay. Nothing's easy. Okay, Paul. You're all followers of Jesus, right? Yet you never would have met the guy.
I can assure you, sir, I've met Jesus.
Your paths never would have crossed. Listen, I've got notes here on you. The timelines don't work out. You would have been studying under Gamaliel when Jesus was executed. So you never would even have met him. And you know what? We did our homework on you. Okay? I've been reading up. There's some really shady stuff when you joined up with the religious right. We know that there was a disappearance of a guy named Stephen. We're still looking into that one. We got ties all over you and your people with all of that stuff. So, how could you have met Jesus years after the man died?
He appeared to me on the road to Damascus.
Oh, come on! You expect me to believe that ghost Jesus just started appearing to people after he died?
Detective, I would encourage you to hear Paul out on this matter.
Dr. Luke, seemed like a respectable guy, man of science, logic, reason, man who values evidence. I hear that you are actually putting together an account of all of this different stuff. What's your take on it?
I suggest you hear the man out, detective. This story is unlike anything you've ever heard.
Okay, Paul. Go ahead, I'm listening. I'm all ears.
I hated Jesus. I hated his followers. I believed they were a corruption of everything I held dear since birth, abomination before God and his holy law. I tried with every effort to quickly and efficiently extinguish their flame. Until one day, as I was traveling on the road to Damascus, a blinding light overtook me. I could see nothing. I could hear nothing. Until a voice called out from the light, "Saul, Saul, why do you persecute me?"
And exactly how much did you have to drink before this?
I will remind you, Argo, that at the time I adhered to the strictest dietary policies of the right. Nothing unclean has ever touched my lips.
All right, keep going. Go ahead.
I saw him there, in the light. I saw Jesus, literally. He looked at me and threw me.
So, the ghost of the dead guy who you hated showed up to you after a night of drinking, and all of a sudden you changed your life around.
You listen to your own words for just a second and realize how idiotic they sound. What would cause me, a man who hated Jesus and his followers, to forgo years of training, a high rank with the religious right, to join them? What would cause me to do that when I believed that this man was worse than the devil himself?
That's the $1 million question, kid. Do you guys really believe this? Do you believe all this stuff?
Detective, I would encourage you to examine your heart. You were searching for the truth, correct? What if the truth is staring you in the eyes and you can't see it?
This is madness. According to your testimony, God became a man, lived the perfect life, and then died to pay a terrible debt? Why would he do that? What, a terrible debt? What debt?
The debt of sin.
Oh my goodness. What are you even talking about? Sin. What are you even talking about?
When you try to sleep, Argo, what is the thing that keeps you up? When you close your eyes to drift off, what monster keeps you awake, gnawing at your soul, filling your head with guilt and shame? What is the red in your ledger?
Listen, man. I ain't got no red in my ledger. My record's clean.
What about Helen?
What did you say? What did you say?
That was your wife's name, correct? Well, ex-wife, after the affair. She was so stricken with guilt, grief, anything she might have done, she turned to pills immediately following. It wasn't long after that before.
How dare you! How dare you! You had no right! No right!
It's a small town. People talk. And I know what you're feeling right now. I've been there before. I felt everything. Every single time I try to sleep, I see Stephen's face, bloodied and bruised. Do you know? You know exactly how I feel, don't you? You know how I felt as I heard him pray for our forgiveness as we killed him. He said, "Father, forgive them."
This just got personal.
That's the thing with Jesus. He always makes it personal. But he died to pay our debts, Argo. This is what we've been trying to tell you. You're so close and you're almost there. We need you to see this. This is why we believe. We've heard the facts. We've seen the signs. And once you've looked into those eyes, you know you're willing to go to the ends of the earth for this message.
Detective, you really have three options here. He is either a liar, which you can't prove, a lunatic, which you can't prove, or he is Lord, which he has proven to us.
Jesus is risen.
So he's either liar, lunatic, or Lord. Real marketable, nice alliteration there. Something that would go well on t-shirts.
Detective, I would encourage you to examine the facts.
Jesus is alive. He's risen now.
He is risen indeed.
You know, you almost got me convinced. Get out of here. Just get out of here.
I didn't expect that. I didn't expect to feel this way. I've asked all the right questions. I wanted Jesus to be some dead guy with crazy followers, and to be honest, I don't even know anymore. I've heard all the stories, reviewed all the facts, but there's something different going on in my chest right now. Helen. Could I be forgiven for something like that? Is that even possible? I don't think Jesus was a liar. I don't think Jesus was a lunatic. Do I think that Jesus was Lord? That's a scary thought. I like control, yet I feel so incredibly out of control. I ain't looking for the body no more. It ain't out there. Surely this man was the Son of God. I've got some questions. I'm ready to listen.